AGH. Nasta.
Nazda. We were just kidding around, guys. We didn't actually turn it on yet.
Oh, we didn't?
We got our checker outer. Greg Martin. We used to have a Keegan Tier checker outer.
I used to do it right here, but my phone's dead.
I know.
Crazy.
But let's see. Yep. All right. Good. We're good to go. You guys can hear us. I'm gonna turn off my. Get things started. I want to thank everybody at Hogs Haven for checking us out. We're missing Kevin tonight. He's coaching football. He's coaching practice.
First
6 to 8.
I think it's first day, second day.
Yeah, I guess they got rescheduled or something. Hopefully, we'll get him. We'll get him. We're not going to miss him on many Tuesdays.
Well, he's an important guy, so he has to stick around and shake
He's kind of a
hands
big deal.
or at least do fist pumps and elbow bumps and that kind of stuff.
He's pretty
Talk
important.
to parents. He is. He's
He's
kind of important.
He's the big guy. So we're missing him tonight, but we're going to get started. We want to welcome everybody to Thank God It's Tuesday on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
What's up? What's up?
Please do us a favor. Click on the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It's free. Click on the notification. You'll get a little shot when we go live. I'm going to step a little closer to the mic. Usually Kevin's here, and he's a bigger guy than me, head-wise. But the subscription helps us out. Give us a like. We appreciate it. We'll give you something to like here before we cut off. I want to welcome Rhett to the First Amendment Sports Studios. He's
back.
He's in the listening room
He's feeling
right
a lot
now.
better too.
Yeah, last week.
Actually, no, he was feeling great.
He was
when
feeling
here
really good
week.
last Tuesday night, giving us a lot to
He's feeling good.
giving us a lot to like. I think if we, I definitely, I was liking it all day. And just at the top of the show, no, I've never seen Sopranos. I know that's kind of a big deal. I know it is. I pride.
Hold on, dude. Are you serious?
I'm
I
dead serious.
didn't know this.
Yeah, so
What's wrong with you?
that's where we need to start tonight, and I think it's fair. This show's important to a lot of people for a lot of reasons. None of them are truly that impactful in terms of life in general, except for our TV choices, which are obviously of the utmost importance. I pride myself on my TV resume, and it's a hole in the resume, a huge one. I get it. I didn't have HBO when it came out. I didn't have Netflix when a lot of my friends were catching up on it. I was going The Wire on Netflix. I was doing other shows.
I'll save it.
I'll backlog it.
Go live.
We're live, dude. We're live.
Are we? I think
I'm catching hell by everybody. What's up, E.O. Anderson?
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I know.
What the hell's
I know.
wrong with you? It's still available somewhere.
I know. And they're doing a prequel now, right?
Yeah, you got to watch Sopranos before they do the prequel, though.
Interesting question, though. Do I watch the prequel first and then watch the series of him older second? I have that. I'm the only one probably in the world that has that option at this point. Never seen the sequel.
It's actually disappointing. It's
I'm disappointed. I am.
I didn't expect to be shocked in tonight's show. I thought it was going to be a pretty dull. We talk about a couple guys that we don't really care about, that are gone and stuff like that. And then now you say this.
So
what is wrong with you?
First of all, we break big stories on this show, and I think this is an example of a big story because I'm the first person to give people crap for not having watched great TV shows. I absolutely know it's a show I have to watch, and you know what? I will. But I do ask the board and team.
Or at least taught a lesson a little bit.
First of all, my last name ends in a vowel.
I'm just trying to throw a little soprano lingo.
I feel like I'm protected. Definitely not a made man for sure yet. Basement made man by Benjamin. But with the whole thing with Star Wars. When it came out and they kind of jumped around time-wise, and
so I had
now
talked
people
about this. I like with my son Luke, who's 2.
What did you do? Did you watch him where they
well,
made him?
He's 2.5. He's not into it yet. But
what are you going to do?
It. I've asked the question. I think I'm going to show it to him the way I saw it because that's the way it came out. Plus, you got all the problems with the, if you watch the first 3 with all the,
CGI. First of all, the second 3 hold up.
I think it could hurt.
They hold up.
It could hurt, but it could hurt the storyline, in my opinion.
No better movie in the world than Empire Strikes Back.
That's why you got to watch them the way they came out.
Well, so we watched them in chronological order when my son became of age, and that was
for the story.
Yeah, for the story. So we watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't think that I certainly don't think there's a wrong way to do it. But so then the question is for The Sopranos, if they put out this prequel, do I dive in and watch the prequel and then watch Tony Soprano after that? I'm interested in understanding if people think. Oh,
I think you're gonna miss a lot.
Okay, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll go back and watch it. I don't think there's nothing about me that says I only watch a show once.
This actually is like screwing with my mind right now.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Greg says I'd be lost if I watched the upcoming movie first. Lost, obviously, another great show. But all right. So the Sopranos thing. Listen, it is what it is. I got to get on that.
Hole in your resume? Really?
It's a huge hole in my resume. I understand. I totally get it. But
that's a blow to your body of work, man. That's horrible.
Right now, I'm crushing out Rick and Morty, which I think is a great. You got to watch Rick and Morty.
Stop and then go watch Sopranos first.
Rick and Morty, it's an amazing show. I highly recommend it, especially now that you're going into a big like sci-fi. You're jumping down the nerdy rabbit hole.
I know. Geeking out. There's no doubt about it.
You got to watch Rick and Morty. It's amazing and.
Anything sci-fi, apocalyptic too.
Oh, it's dark comedy. I love it. It's just dark. It's great. It's amazing.
I'm not a very violent person. Maybe that's my only way of getting it like out is to.
It's uncomfortably violent at times for a cartoon.
No, the real ones are too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we came here to talk about more than just The Sopranos. The Washington football team
whacked a couple guys this week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people came off the roster. Let's just talk real fast. The cuts themselves: Justin Phillips, Rick Leonard, Jordan Brown, Justice Reed, John Toth. We cut Steven Sims. Before that, the
Sims probably the only one really worth podcast time about, in my opinion.
Well, Leonard, Brown, and Phillips, I believe, were on the practice squad last year. They could end up on the practice squad again.
Sure.
My guess is they will. If we want them, they will.
Sure.
We've been saying since the beginning, Steven Sims was not long for this team.
But he'll play.
He's going to make someone's team for
Probably.
sure. Which leads us to like the idea that we're cutting guys. Again, we've talked about this. We're cutting guys that are good enough to play in this league, which has not been the case for us in many seasons. Half the guys we kept, I shouldn't say half, a lot of the guys we kept wouldn't make this year's team over the years. And to me, my focus of tonight's show, certainly at the top of the show for us, is staying focused on the fact that we're rebuilding. So the Washington football team is committed fully to a rebuild. They brought in.
I prefer just building.
But we've never. There is such thing as a rebuild
Last year
in sports.
Had the
No. A rebuild. That's the thing. That's it. A true rebuild is not a 1 year. That they've been trying to sell 1 year rebuilds forever. Those don't hold. Those don't take. A true organizational rebuild takes multiple years. Okay. And they brought in the guy to do it, Ron Rivera. Okay. They got crazy young. They went after speed. Obviously, we've talked about youth and speed. We've done it through the draft.
But when you're the defending champions of your division, yeah, okay, whatever.
No, we were. We were the absolute champions, but 7-9
I
speaks
prefer to
more
look at it as just let's build upon that.
Absolutely.
Don't have the players think about this being a rebuild. Don't talk about that in the building.
Well,
let's just build.
Okay. But the organization is rebuilding still. It's going year 2, and I think it's a solid 3 or 4 year process.
Try to get you fired up.
Well, I am fired up because, a lot of organizations do commit to rebuilds, and they don't go as well as ours has after just one season. They're not as competitive as we are after just one season, and obviously the reasons for that are, you draft guys like Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, Montez Sweat, and Chase Young. I say it differently. I just switch it off every single time. Deron Payne. I do appreciate that. You are our name expert whenever we call football games.
No, I am not.
You are the guy who...
No, I am not.
Okay. And so you get good...
I had to ask you if it was Toth or Toth earlier.
I say Toth, but I don't even know. I don't know. And there's a guy who can play in the league, and obviously he's killing it on the runway, but he's going to be able to play in this league. But like the teams in our,
he's on your all handsome team.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean,
wow. Okay.
I mean, I haven't thought about it a ton. Obviously, right now I
think
talk
you've
about
thought
it a lot.
about it way more than anybody who is a part of it.
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is on my all handsome
except
team.
for maybe Rhett.
Yeah, that's true. But if you look around the league, the league is littered with teams that have not been able. They've committed to the draft. They've committed to getting young. They fired coaches. They've gutted their payroll. You know, they've not gone after high price free. I mean, look. I mean, Jacksonville, for God's sake. Now they did to get Trevor Lawrence, and unfortunately they lost Travis Etienne for his rookie year.
That's terrible because I love that kid. Actually, I think
he's going to be just
he's
fine.
Special. I do. I think he's very, very good.
This is an injury that they correct with surgery, and he's healthy.
Actually, don't even know what the injury is.
Liz Frank. It's a Liz Frank injury. He'll get foot surgery.
They do take time though.
He's out for the year.
Yeah, no, they take time to heal.
But to me, I think of it in terms of everyone in Jacksonville, like they're like a piñata in this league.
It's getting rough down there for Urban. I mean,
they're going to get destroyed this season, and they've been the piñata in this league for a while. So for him,
like a train wreck,
dude. Trevor Lawrence, he took hits in the preseason game this week. That, I mean, it reminded me of David Carr when he came up as a rookie, I believe, with the Texans and set the sack record.
As bad as Ramsey.
Well, Ramsey got hit
because you actually
hard.
you thought that charges should have been brought on Spurrier. To be honest with you,
it was cruel and unusual punishment. Steve Spurrier did not believe in pass protection. He did not leave anyone in.
Ball out quick, son.
He thought we were playing 7-on-7. Everyone was an eligible receiver, and Patrick Ramsey was
not quick enough.
Creamed and ruined psychologically and physically. But we actually had decent. The thing about Steve Spurrier that always kills me, not that we get back in too much into that, we had good offensive linemen. We had talented offensive linemen
we just
under
didn't
Steve Spurrier.
Have enough.
We had no scheme.
They had more people.
Because he told the world, I'm going to block with 5, no matter what. And so they're like, maybe we'll rush 6 this play every single time and get a sack. So that didn't work out so well. So Travis Etienne will save himself a year of destruction on his body because I think all those guys are going to get killed, this season. But hey, Harrison, dude, Harrison in the house, love it. What's up, Joe?
What's up, guys?
We got some good friends.
It's been a long time since we've heard from Harrison.
It has. Well, you know what? I keep my finger on the pulse. I make sure I know everything that Harrison's up to the best I can. No one can ever really ultimately know everything Harrison is up to.
I don't think we want to.
No. There's rules. You can't. No one should know everything. Like this person knows this, and this person knows this, and you keep it segmented. And he lives in New Orleans, so it is just. You know what? Forget Sopranos. I want to watch the Harrison Weinhold New Orleans show. Shout out to Joe Marangolo, that is, who's Joe Max Moron's soccer podcast.
What's up, Joe?
Is off and running. I am looking forward to being not at least initially a guest, if not a co-host at some point, to talk about soccer. I feel like I have very little to offer.
I'm definitely gonna tune in.
Oh yeah. Oh, give me a break, dude. Oh, you know what? That's the surefire sign that you're gonna watch it. So T's way of TV watching is he starts out by saying, "Oh, never watch that," and then a couple weeks later he's like, "Man, I can't even imagine ever putting myself through watching that." And then like a month later, he starts like dropping quotes from the show. You're like, "Hey,
no
remember?"
offense to you, Joe.
Yeah, no, Joe would.
I'd watch it to watch Joe.
A lot of other men would too. So let's get back to not the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the rebuild, and then we'll transition out of the rebuild. And
I don't like it. But
you know how excited I am.
I know what you're saying.
Well, because as a fan of this team that we've been longer than we've been doing the show,
sure.
The Vinny Serratos and the Dan Snyders and the Bruce Allens of the world tried to shove down our throat that they had meaningfully rebuilt our roster on any given season. And it always came down to a lot of money spent in free agency, and many times at the cost of promoting our own players. You know, the Antonio Pierces, the Ryan Clarks, even though he wasn't our own. Just guys who we could have promoted, paid less, and spent our money more wisely. Long story short, we never truly rebuilt. Truly, what they were trying to do was reload, and they were reloading a crappy gun.
Right.
And so that's why I love this about what we're doing with Ron Rivera and the organization right now is they like to the not even to the detriment of apparently not to the detriment because we just won the division at 7-9 and we're going to be competitive this season. They've made choices about who the players that are going to play, like cutting Haskins last season. Like
they've done a 180 completely.
They are
in the other direction of where they were going.
Getting not just
and that's why I think you, in my personal opinion, get rid of get rid of the prefix.
Oh no, well
simply because
let's not argue about the two letters.
I know.
We're talking about the same thing.
I love it because it's actually been a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right. It's been 2 drafts. It's been 2 off seasons. Although it be COVID and everything, but still, we all I think are very happy with the way the direction of all this is going, because like a guy like Steve Sims, who we had to rely upon for a couple of years,
and who
was actually one
performed.
One of our biggest
score points.
Gone because we're better.
We not just we're better, we're younger, we're faster, we're more physical, and also we're going to develop. Like I do think Dax Milne makes this team. I think
that's going to be the interesting thing too. I didn't think AGG is going to make this team, but with Jarrett Patterson making the team, somebody somewhere is going to go, probably up on the line. They're probably going to go with 9, right?
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, because we're going to have 4 running backs, but that wide receiver room, I don't know. A lot of people are projecting that Gandy Golden still makes his team, and I think Dax Milne is making some. He's one of those guys in this third game that's going to actually maybe possibly make or break his career here.
That's right, but let me get away from the build rebuild conversation, which is to finish it out, which is just to say that I bought into a multiple year process. I bought into the idea that they would take it seriously on their end because they never did before, and now they are. And I bought into the idea that that we were going to do this in a way that could be sustained. So we've never done that before. Literally, we've never done that. In the Dan Snyder era, we've never done that. And the era prior to Dan Snyder was just a different football era. You could do the Joe Gibbs stash guys on the roster. Era is over. So I'm very excited that we continue, even while my eyes are firmly set on winning the division again, making the playoffs, because we can do those things with this roster. You can look at this team, and it's still a team. It's still in progress. And so for me, what I say,
so you can still see progress this year if they don't make the playoffs.
Absolutely, because for the organization to find itself on solid footing finally. Right now is a golden age in terms of again what I call the rebuild. We're super young. We have a lot of young talent. We do have some high priced guys. The defensive line is about to start costing us a ton of money. So there's going to be decisions to be made.
That's why I think there's a little bit more urgency here.
I
think it is a disappointment if they don't make it to playoffs.
So we're always going to be disappointed.
It would be not just like, oh shucks, that sucks. Do it again.
I would say
do it again next year.
Win more than 7 games.
Because you're right.
Win more than 7
the
games.
Year after that, this thing's getting blown up.
You could win more than 7 games and not make the playoffs this year. That's what I'm saying. If we can win 8 or 9 games this season, then I do, and we don't make the playoffs. That to me is progress because we will have a little bit of a tougher schedule. But forget that for a second. In order for your organization to successfully rebuild, you have to get through that first changeover where you're making hard choices. You're signing Jonathan Allen, but maybe you have to trade Daron Payne. You're saving money to save Chase Young. Maybe that means Montez Sweat isn't going to be a big signing. You're making choices. You've brought guys in and you've developed them, and you're making choices because then that opens up a whole nother level to organizational soundness. Like the best teams in the league, what do? They develop talent, but they don't, and they do have to let guys go. But what are the Andy Reids and the Mike Holmgrens prior to that doing? They're trading, and Bill Belichick for that matter. They're finding ways to trade guys that they know they can't keep for draft assets. And then what do? They just keep reloading. So to me, yes,
I see where we're missing because you're taking a very macro view.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about it because I think the team is committed to this.
Yep.
Yes, we want to win this year, and we're gonna, and I will join you in being disappointed if we don't make the playoffs because I believe that we're talented enough to make the playoffs. But if we can win 8 or 9 games at a base minimum, um, and develop some of these young players, because truly, if you think about it, like the number one issue in rebuilding an organization in the NFL in 2021 is quarterback. We haven't done that yet. So like the biggest thing for us coming is the investment in that. And the beauty of that is when you make that draft choice next season, if we are luckily enough to do that, even if we give Ryan Fitzpatrick, a 2-year deal to stay around and mentor, that's not going to cost anything, in terms of quarterback money. You have 4 years with the 5th balloon year on a rookie quarterback. So if you get that quarterback pick right, you're paying a rookie quarterback for 4 or 5 seasons, and that gives you the ability to that alone gives you the ability to keep
You're
either.
assuming it's a rookie.
I'm assuming it's a rookie. I am assuming it's a rookie. It doesn't have to be. It could end up being an Aaron Rodgers type, but I don't think that it will personally. But that I don't know anything. I think it will be a rookie, and I do think it'll be a mentorship by Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I think that we're going to benefit from the bet because the teams in the league. No team has ever won the Super Bowl with their quarterback making more than 20-something% of the salary cap. Someone correct me on that one.
Tom Brady.
He's not making. He's not. Patrick Mahomes would have been the first one to do it on his extension, and he didn't. But I also think that Patrick Mahomes. I also think that's a stat that's going to fall because I think that quarterbacks are going to just be paid that much. The best quarterbacks in the league, and Super Bowls are going to be won by really good quarterbacks.
That's a huge stat, though.
It is
because it does lend to what you're saying, building too. You can't just bet the farm, Dallas, on one guy.
It's 14 or 15%. I think you're right, Greg.
And not leave room for people to surround him. No, this is a team game.
It's a team game.
Yeah.
But I do think that stat will fall. But I think it is 15%, Greg, something like that. And so. So getting value like the Chiefs have out of a rookie, a good rookie pick, who was making like the Eagles and Carson Wentz, there's other examples, but like basically getting return on your value at the quarterback position is the name of the game. Period. If you're going to pay a guy $40 million to be your quarterback, he better be top 10, and if he is, he probably is only barely returning you $40 million of value. Yeah. But if you're paying him $5 million or $8 million and he gets you 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and you're able to do other things and be great on defense, that's the team to me that is going to be in playing football in January somehow, some way. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think stepping. I don't know if we're stepping back or if we're stepping forward. In terms of how we're looking.
Not stepping anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, good. Oh, damn it. But yeah, exactly. You start to see that what they're doing with this team is. I mean, yes, it's professional, but shit, this is working. This can work.
I want it to work now.
Yeah.
We're on the precipice of a season. I get what you're saying, and I think you're right, and I agree with everything that you're saying. It's time to start winning. Mm-hmm. It's time for these games to start, counting. Let's get this one out. This is the worst part of preseason. It really is. This is when the only thing you get real excited about is guys like Dax Milne. Showing something in that third game.
Jared Patterson.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's on.
Yeah, but I'm saying he'll play in this game.
Yeah, he will. But how much? I don't know.
I hope he plays well. Unless I guess we kept Jonathan Williams. I guess. I mean, I'm happy. In the last preseason. So this is the next thing I had lined up for us to talk about because we touched on it, and I want to hear what the board has to say. Last year we had no preseason games, which was fine by I think everybody.
A lot of people.
Yeah. This year we have 3 preseason games, and I'm not and I know in the past, especially with Kevin sitting here, we've argued about why care, who cares, blah blah blah. Me, I love it. But the difference between 3 and 4 preseason games is to me significant. I do think we're going to 2, but let's just talk about where we are right now. So, in the old days of 2 years ago, the first game you get a series or two in with starters. The second game you might get a quarter or so in. Third game was a dress rehearsal. Fourth game was throw warm bodies on the field and get out, and don't let any of your starters, bubble wrap them,
Right. Yep.
And so this week against the Ravens, it's the third game. I think teams are approaching this differently all around the league, which I find fascinating. I think there's going to be teams in this league who play the guys who they're going to count on in week one, and I think there's teams in this league who are going to bubble wrap the crap out of guys, especially now that guys like Etienne, the thing that Etienne happened today.
Well, that's out of your control. That probably happens every year, no matter how many
Sure.
games you're playing.
2 to 3 drives, the first stat on the board. So you're putting how many drives are you putting Fitzpatrick, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel on the field for?
If none, probably shouldn't do any more than one.
Like if you get a couple first downs,
go through the warm-ups, go through your routines,
Yeah.
make sure you have all that down, get out there, pretend, get a feel again for what it's like, and then get the hell off because we got a game going.
and also there's a
In
break.
a week and a half, right?
Yeah, it's a week and a half. I mean, it's like the 12th, right? So that's like a long time until you get on the field for week for week one. It's a stretch. I mean, you can come back from some nicks and bruises, in that amount of time. But at the same, so you almost need to get, in my opinion, you almost need to have them on the field for at least a drive or two, just because otherwise they're not going to be in a game for like a month.
Correct.
So that said, I'm bubble wrapping Chase Young. I might just bubble wrap the whole front four. Because I don't care.
Yeah,
They don't
there's
need to
nothing
play.
wrong with that.
They don't
There's
need to play a
no,
game.
There's not.
But I'm throwing if William Jackson can go, because I know he's been dinged up. He's been on the sidelines this week. If he can go, he's out there. Obviously, I want to see. You know what? I'll go to Landon
They
Collins.
probably got people too on some pitch counts. Some guys they want
Yeah.
to get a little bit more work in because they haven't been able to, for whatever reason, COVID protocol, pup list, whatever it might have been. Some guys probably just don't have the reps that other people have too
Yep.
at this stage. So
And when we go to 2 games, it's going to be even weirder because so going from 4 to 3, even though we had 0 last year, this is what's crazy to me. We had 0 last year. We go from 4 to 3, and I'm feeling like we don't have enough time. And last year we had none. So when we go from 3 to 2, which will be the case,
last year was
what do
an
you do
anomaly.
then? You know what we're going to start seeing? So this gets me. I think we're going to get back to when we were kids, and joint practices were like the thing. So you're going. So we're not going to have preseason games, but you might spend and you're seeing it already. You're seeing I think more joint practices this year. For 3 and 4 and 5 days at a time around the league. It's always been the thing.
It's become more of a mainstay here in the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 years.
But when we were kids, it was it. Like Redskins and Steelers, I feel like they spent like 3 weeks together. It felt like when we were in Carlisle and they were down there. If we're not doing, I know joint practices, not just big injuries, but huge fights. I think if we only have 2 preseason games scheduled, I think you're going to see at least 2 or 3 multiple, joint practices, which to me is kind of cool. Well, and you know what? The cool thing is we don't even know. It's like when Will Ferrell was trying to describe what kind of underwear the waitress is wearing. Like maybe it's cotton, maybe it's pink, maybe it's something never even heard of.
Yeah.
I don't they're going to figure out a way to make joint practices like crazy entertaining. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I just believe that they will. I know that they will. Like they're going to have like
Don't give Snyder ideas to start charging
helmet
charging
cams.
fans again.
Like you'll be able to stream like no bleeped out, just straight up hear all the shit talking, on some channel that you pay for.
HBO.
I'll pay for that. Yeah, you can do it. HBO. You know what? Are we
that now.
Are we over on Hard Knocks? I know, but Hard Knocks.
I don't have HBO. I'm gonna be honest. I don't do HBO. I only got it back in the day for Game of Thrones.
For Sopranos. I'm not going to. I don't watch Hard Knocks because Dallas is on it, and I don't watch anything that has a star on it. So I'm done.
I've heard nothing about it.
It's going. I mean, it's the HBOification of training camp was, I think it was something early, but I think the show's stale. I think it's a cool idea, but like it's right now, it's basically like it's a formulaic sitcom. The same, they shape it up. I mean, it's new guys come in. Some people say some funny shit. There's always like some wacko coordinator who lives in a van down by the river, and then you got the guys who are getting cut, and then it's so they got to go back to the drawing boards. We're done with that. I feel like we're done with that.
You should write them.
I appreciate that. You're the only person that thinks that, but I appreciate that. I would love to write something. Rhett. Standing ovation, Rhett? Oh my gosh, unbelievable. Hey, sit down, Rhett. Please sit down. Sit down. You don't need to stand. No standing ovation necessary. It is unremarkable. I agree. Oh, and Kevin Ewald is reporting that Tanya Snyder took John Gruden's master class on schemes and scouting running backs for Spider 2 Y Banana plays. That's probably accurate. I think so. Tanya Snyder is getting some comments tonight. She is obviously the acting owner, acting CEO. Is she
Yes.
But she's not just an actress. She's out.
No, she's not acting.
She's like doing it for real.
Yes, she's really doing it.
She's a really good actor.
This is not an
She's
interim
pulling
thing.
it off.
This is happening.
But I also
right now.
It's happening right now. She is in charge as we speak.
This is the now.
She might be watching the show right now. You're doing a great job, Tanya. Obviously, you know what? She might be. Of course she is. 11 people, subscribing to we have more than 11. Benjamin alone, his 12. Family is probably half of our subscription base. Once again, hit that like button. Appreciate if you guys, if everyone who is late to the show, we appreciate that. Give us a subscription. Give us a like. I think that getting away from the front office side of the things, getting away from the preseason aspect of things, which obviously we have another week to go.
Get the football.
We got the Chargers week 1. Chargers are bubble wrapping the hell out of people right now. Not only are they bubble wrapping Justin Herbert, but they have they
tried to put it on Funk, and he said, "Get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Rams.
That's the Rams.
I just wanted to say Funk.
That is, well, I appreciate that. Well, the Rams lost Cam Akers, and then
he's actually going to make the team.
Cam Akers?
No, Funk.
Oh, sure.
For the Rams.
Fred Funk?
No.
University of Maryland golfer?
No. Jake.
A different guy, Jake Funk.
Jake.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But you were talking Chargers.
The LA teams, the Chargers and the Rams, which them coming over here in week 1.
It's big.
The West Coast teams traveling.
You get deducted.
But it doesn't matter as much in week 1.
For that.
Not in week 1 because they're not. They didn't play the week. First of all, they won't have played for a week and a half.
Jet lag.
Period.
Man.
If they're smart, and I'm not saying they necessarily are, but if they are, they're not going to come here. They'll come here early. And
it's a statistical thing. This is why there's always points.
The biggest one is Seattle. In season when
points
Seattle comes here,
deducted
that matters
for the team that travels.
Correct, without a doubt. Correct. I think we're plus 1.5 on the home opener. It's a big bet going off right now. So just full disclosure, since we are in the era of legal gambling, I feel like we can talk about this no problem. Talked about this.
Did it stop us before?
With general counsel. Oh yeah,
it did.
No, it didn't.
No.
But
we are full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. I don't bet on Redskins / Washington football team games. The last game, even when I feel like I know, and I feel like I do know, and we've been one of the better teams against the spread for years. And the main reason why is because gamblers from east to west think shit about us. So they always move the line away.
You think there's a conspiracy?
No, not a conspiracy. Just people, for the very good reason, think we stink. Going back 15, 20 years.
I think all fan bases think that about their teams.
No. We don't think that about our team. I'm saying the gambling community.
Okay.
They've had no faith in us.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they understand. And so that has moved the lines and given us really a great opportunity to cover. And I think our against the spread numbers are insane. That said, the last time I bet on the Redskins, they were the Redskins at the time. Patrick Ramsey was the quarterback. Darnarian McCants was the artiste, was playing wide receiver for us. So I needed a touchdown to cover. And Ramsey was driving our team down in a loss. Okay, so we couldn't have won the game. And so I'm watching this game, and all I care about is, can we get another score? I believe a penalty gave us an additional opportunity, and Ramsey was able to hit McCants. I'm on the floor. St. Megan's like wondering what the hell is going on. We cover, I win, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. Like, I don't know. Can I be happy about this? This was like one of the worst. We were against the Eagles. It was one of the worst games I've ever watched.
I think you can be glad. It was all over.
And it's done now.
You don't have to put yourself through that. I've never bet on a Redskins game.
I'm done.
/ Washington football team game. Never will. Don't need it. Don't need it. Not for them.
Nope. I will. But I love betting NFL, and I will bet NFL, but I won't bet Washington. My Nats bets, because people care, is when Strasburg and Scherzer were crushing it. Every single game they started, just had a standing bet. Baseball betting's weird, but the year they won the World Series and the year before that, just every single time they pitched, took it. Because you have to baseball. You have to have a plan. Hockey, I don't freaking know anything about. I don't bet hockey to save my life. I can't bet on hockey.
Hockey's random.
I don't know anything about it.
But statistics in baseball can help.
Basketball, if you ask Rhett Donnelly, let's call him R. Donnelly. You know what? No, let's make it Rhett D. Rhett D. If you ask Rhett D, you only bet on the fourth quarter. If you care about the NBA, if you want to be a NBA gambler, wait till the fourth quarter, then put your money in. That's when the action happens. There you have it, man. God, it became a gambling show on top of everything else. Kevin would be so upset.
I don't bet.
Ever? I'm going to get you betting.
I'll
bet you $10 to get you betting by the end of the show.
All right. So it's different when I go into a casino. I become a completely different person. I want
to meet this guy, by the way.
I have bet on sporting events, but sparingly.
Okay.
It's more of a novelty.
It should be a novelty. It is a novelty. The Jameson 12, by the way, E.O. Anderson. It's a hard bottle to find. I know everyone you guys have told me that it's available everywhere. I can't find it anywhere. All right, let's get away from gambling for a second. Let's talk about the last preseason game, which to me is meaningful because it's Baltimore. This is where the NFL gets it wrong, obviously. We talked about this, T. Washington and Baltimore should play in the regular season every single year.
Every year? Does
Every
anybody
year.
play each other every year?
Well, no, they have to change the rule. They have to change the scheduling convention. I think it's coming. Now that we have 17 games, once we go to 2 preseasons,
it's possible with 17 games, yes.
Yeah, add the regional game.
Proximity game is maybe, yes. It is a very smart idea.
It's too good. It's too smart. Obviously, we're very lucky that hasn't been the situation for the last 10 years.
It would really suck for one or the other if they have a huge lull, and it's very lopsided.
It would have been for the last 10 years for us? Oh, yeah. Even when we were good, one of our best teams, I was at the game. It was in Baltimore. Jason Campbell, Clinton Portis. We were riding high. It was like 15, 20 degrees. Second coldest game I've ever been to as a football fan live, and the beer froze in your cup before you could drink it, and we got shellacked physically, like they just beat us up. It wasn't a high scoring game, but there was no question who was the better team. They beat the crap out of us, but and I think that they're a very good team now. And I think that when we play them this week,
they're a very good organization. Period.
You know what? That's the beauty of this league, and something that Dan Snyder failed to realize when he first came in as an owner. You can look around and you can see. At the time when he came in, it was the Green Bays and Pittsburghs, especially, that you could look at and you could say, okay, maybe we should do it like that. And then over the years, it was, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Holmgren. Maybe we should do it like that.
I have a lot of high praise for Steve Bisciotti. Know him well through Maryland and all that. He's a huge supporter of Maryland and everything.
Good man.
I've known him for a long time. He gets it. He's good at what he does, and he knows what he doesn't do, and he lets the people that he hires that are very good at that to do that job. And it's just a very well run organization. Now, I hate them.
Of course.
I love to play them and beat them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and
love to talk the ish with the Baltimore Ravens fans. I mean, it's always fun.
The dream is a Ravens-Redskins Super Bowl.
It would be cool. It would be cool if that was a yearly thing.
If we play them every year, but the goal, the dream is Washington Baltimore Super Bowl. That would be everything.
What would that be called? Can't call it a Beltway Bowl because they don't share the same Beltway.
They call it the I-95.
The I-95?
Yeah, I-95.
I-95 Bowl.
Yeah. Corridor. They probably think of something better than that, or they think that it would be better. We can probably do better. Yeah.
The BW Bowl.
Something with crabs. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Who knows? Listen, we got.
That would be awesome.
We got our best people working on it.
I don't know how much the West Coast would give a crap, but
the dream is Washington versus anyone in the Super Bowl. I agree with you. Obviously, that is correct. But by the way, Sean Ashman, the David Mayo for MVP
love. Was watching us tonight, really?
Who?
Captain Obvious. That was good.
Captain Obvious is watching us. Why David Mayo for MVP? I'm intrigued, and I have a reason why. I'll let you answer first before I tell you why. David Mayo for MVP by Sean Ashman. Let's hear it, Sean. It's got to be because of where he went to college. I'm just going to start there. He's got to be a Texas guy, but I want to hear it, Sean. Texas State Bobcats. Yep, I knew it. Cheers, Sean, by the way. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Funny, because the reason why, when you said David Mayo for MVP, Madden came out on Friday, and I know you're not a big
I think this is hilarious. Now, if I had the video game, I'd be definitely into it. I'm just not into it. And I'm sure with my son coming up, being a little bit older, we're going to get into it. But
yeah, of course.
I think the whole fact that real live people get really pissed off about their Madden ratings is hilarious. Grown men. It is hilarious.
It is. But
that's not where you're going.
No, what? And I don't have David Mayo when I'm playing Madden against my son, and of course. There's no. I get Washington. I bought the game. I get Washington. He can pick everyone else. And he was like. And at first, we had our first time in the history.
You will not let your son be Washington.
No chance. He's got to earn that right. He could earn it. We could figure out a way where he can earn it. But right now, I'm still Washington. I got a pile of Madden games, some of which I've changed the rosters like irrevocably and like deleted. And I've decided what the Redskins should be. And anyways. So I'm Washington, and I'm playing, and obviously I want to be Chase Young, so I'm being Chase Young, and I'm running him, doing everything I can to get him into the backfield, and they take him out, and all of a sudden the next play, but I have like auto subs, which I hate. I make my own subs. Sorry, man. And all of a sudden I go to pick the guy, and it's David Mayo, and I'm like, well, for God's sake, it's like third down, It's like third. It is a big play, and I'm counting on David Mayo. Sure enough,
Mayonnaise.
Mayo made a crazy good play. He beat the tackle, tackle for a loss. And I was thinking, I was singing David Mayo's praises, and my son was like, "Who are you talking about?" Like. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, wait till let me introduce you to my friend Sean Ashman and the Texas State Bobcats, David Mayo. Anyways,
fantastic story.
He's like in my life. Yeah, well, we got some content out of Madden. That's not too shabby. What are we going to do in our time between this game and week one? What do you got on tap?
Like personally, I mean, are you getting serious? Like,
let's Roy Firestone. Let's Roy Firestone this up.
That's personal stuff.
It's some personal stuff. You got some personal time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean,
listen, you're crossing the line here, buddy.
You're a weird guy, Ace.
The hell you talking about?
We're gonna be here next Tuesday, but we're gonna have it's gonna be over. Like we're gonna be shut down. AGH is gonna be watching soccer. Greg Martin's going to be modifying his roster. He's still got Reed Dowdy. I love it. Yeah, we have to deal with some downtime. This was the built-in problem of this season that I've been trying not to talk about.
53 made. What's the deadline?
I mean, so they're gonna let them trot out a bunch of guys who have no chance of playing in the league against the Ravens.
Right.
And we're gonna hand it off to some poor sap.
When is deadline for 53?
It's usually like 1 or 2 days later.
Right.
I don't have
Sunday?
Tuesday at 4 p.m.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Tuesday at 4 p.m.
To talk about. We'll know our team.
We know our team right now.
Yeah, but then we can get really excited about it.
We're gonna get really excited, obviously. Yes.
Maybe we'll get like
maybe there's gonna be a surprise cut.
Get streamers and things, and we'll make it a party next week, man.
Does anyone have a surprise cut call?
Kevin should be back.
Kevin should be back. Do you have a surprise cut call?
I think it's Gandy, Golden.
AGG is your surprise cut.
I don't think he's gonna
and
make
Dax
it.
makes it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know that there's any other
is that a surprise? I don't know. Is that a surprise? That's a surprise.
Is Troy Apke a surprise cut?
He's getting a lot. A lot of people are talking about him.
A lot of people are talking about him.
Not many, in my opinion. Not many make it from safety to corner, as much as a corner makes it to safety. I think, just in my opinion, I think it's the skill set.
He's super fast though.
I know.
And he can tackle.
I know. And he's making a lot of mistakes, but they say he's kind of getting it, and that he's performing. He's a guy you talk about all the time. They're kind of pot committed on that guy. In some respects.
So?
I think he's been in the system. He's a guy that they see something in him. He keeps surviving somehow.
But let's just. He's not the new Reed Dowdy. Can we? I'm so worried that's a thing.
I don't think he's next Seahorn either.
Whoa! That was a low blow.
Was it to who?
Tapke. God, he was like good for a second. Seahorn was, and then not so much. And I listen. If we're relying on Apke at any point, to get meaningful minutes for us, then we're in trouble. But if he can come in and make a tackle, I think that there's dime packages that he could be a part of.
Some of the stuff I read on him today, he's making strides in this move. He is apparently very valuable on special teams. I can't understand why there wouldn't be other guys that are just as, if not more. But as you said, he's got speed. He's got some things that a coach like Ron Rivera likes, because he's probably a guy that if you tell him to do something, he's going to try his ass off to do it.
I think he is the prototypical gunner on a special teams punt return unit. Yeah. But I also, they've been putting other guys out there. So
he makes this roster not because he's made a great leap as a corner. He makes this roster because he provides some value where they don't think somebody else on the squad right now is going to be able to do that.
Are you keeping DeAndre?
I don't know.
I don't think we are. I don't think that we are. Let me ask you this. Would Peyton Barber be a surprise cut?
Me personally, I do not think so. I think carrying 4 screws things up, but we do have a couple guys on the line that are interchangeable at some positions, can be flexible, and you can afford to go with 9 if you go with 4 running backs.
If
one of them gone, I think it's Barber.
If one of them's gone, it's definitely Barber.
Does he really? I mean, I know he got us 2 yards when we needed 1, or he got us 3 when we needed 2 last year. There's no way one of these other 3 can't do that.
If Peyton Barber gets cut, he's getting picked up, a day later.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
And if so,
but they even talked about how he slimmed down this year.
He is smaller. He is definitely smaller. But to me, the running back decision. I know $1.5 million is not a lot of dollars in terms of salary cap, but it's something, and you can roll that to the next season. If you cut Peyton Barber, you save $1.4 million of cap space, and that can roll forward. I start to think about paying for. Maybe that's not going to change our decision on a Montez Sweat or a Deron Payne, but it could be what we need to keep some of those depth guys. What we didn't talk about when we talk about rebuild is like the Ionidases, the Tim Settles, The guys that are going to come in behind them, if we can't keep Deron Payne, if we can't keep Montez Sweat, because we're going to pay Chase Young whatever it takes, obviously, then $1.5 million is meaningful when you start to talk about those guys, and those are the guys that we need. So I Barber is somebody who we can win with, and I think that he's a luxury. To me, he's a luxury. But again, you look at the league. The league is littered with running backs by injured running backs by midseason.
If it is probably one of the positions where you're if you have 4 guys that you can really rely on,
You're gonna need them.
You may need them. You're right.
Yeah.
You may need them. I mean, if you're flexible, it's going to be in the line because that's where the biggest number is. If you can be flexible there, I think Shattuck can go guard and tackle, right?
Yeah.
And Cosme has a little bit of flexibility in him, so you can afford to go with 4. I do think it's going to happen. I don't think Barber's going to get cut. If he does,
I don't think so either.
I think people will be shocked if he does. I personally, I wouldn't be. I don't know why, but it's probably going to go the way.
My cold heart, Kevin, just to represent Kevin's point of view, I think he's been very clear. I think he
get a sign off on that.
He thinks, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. I think he sees the value in keeping a guy like Peyton Barber.
Sure.
I think we all do.
Yes, no, I think it will work.
I don't think you make it necessarily based on salary cap, but man, there's some part of me who just says, you know what? I think that's where we are right now as an organization, and I think that. And by the way, just to give Joe a shout on, he'd keep Barber over McKissick. Now, I disagree with that, Joe. McKissick, by the way, had an insane year last year.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think that. I think there's every reason to believe he can have the same year this year. I think that
I think
is.
Joe's pulling for the Pilati kid. Just
sure.
kind of fill those shoes.
Yeah, Joe and I.
You guys stick together out there.
We beat up on Pilati back in the day. McNamara beat Pilati all the time.
That's sort of close to you.
First of all, we're Forestville till we die.
Yeah, I know.
Secondly,
but it's close.
it is. But I got no love for Pilati. I mean, I love not in the sense that
Pilati just called.
Yeah.
They want to have a word with you.
Damn it! My junior and senior high school year just came out.
Seriously.
I played in some championship games against Pilati.
Okay.
I think that I fractured my L5 in a
They
championship
hurt you.
game. They did hurt me physically. They hurt me.
you. That's what
I
it
got
is.
beat. I got the
That's
crap
what
beat out of
this
me.
is.
We
You got
won.
PTSD right now.
We
but
won.
Pilati. Somebody says Pilati, and your hip starts getting all gimpy.
I never played against Jared Patterson or Chase Young though.
Good for you.
Yes. I feel like
Congratulations. This is probably why you're still here.
It's probably
Actually.
why I'm still here. All right. Well, we got a lot to come. Any other just in general? You turn on ESPN, you turn on CBS Sports. Anything that's popping for you?
Personally, I know Kevin doesn't like talking about it, but I'm a big college football fan. I'm getting really excited about college football. I'm reading up on stuff.
Week 0, right? Is where we're at?
Yep. Next weekend.
Week 0.
Starting it up. This is the last camp week, and things get started up. I'm not sure if there's Thursday or Friday games, but next Saturday it's full slate, man.
Can we get
it's gonna be unbelievable.
A slight preview from you? Like no one's talking about the Maryland Terrapins right now. Do they have any chance at all?
So I definitely. I mean, obviously, I follow the Terps. Read as much as I do on the Terps as I do on the Washington football team. I'm excited. I love Locks. He's my boy. I think that they're going to be a team. They're kind of predicted right now to be 6-6, 5th in the East, Big Ten East. But I actually think they could surprise some people. We'll see how it goes. I love that Dan Enos is there now as the OC, working again with Loxley. They were both on the staff at Alabama. Talia being Tua's brother, and then all that familiarity. I think there's going to be some fireworks on offense.
Jarrett.
Rakim, I think is going to have a breakout year. Dante Demas. Jay Sean Jones. I mean, offensively, they've got weapons. I mean, they've got huge weapons. Maybe if you had to find some weakness in their offense right now, it might be the running backs. But Tyon Fleet Davis, I mean, he's going to be fine. They're going to be a committee.
But let's remind everybody,
though, defensively, that's where their biggest jump has been, and I think that's where they're going to.
No one's going to have to play quarterback from the linebacker spot this year.
No, that's not going to happen. Yes. That is not going to happen.
That's strong. When you don't have to line up a linebacker and quarterback, you're doing pretty damn good.
Sean Petty,
I
know out there, man.
People. So T called Maryland college football for 20 years on the radio with Johnny Holiday.
22.
22. That's not
Yeah.
shortchange it.
No, that's not.
And
Those 2 years were important.
but I think what's worth mentioning is that we're all here Maryland fans. There's a wide receiver for the Maryland Terps named Rakim Jarrett. He wore number 5 last year. I assume he'll stick with the same number. These guys change numbers all the time. Went to high school locally. We covered him in high school. We called him on the air for First Amendment Sports. And he is that guy. Maryland has turned out wide receivers. Now, I know that not everyone's gotten super excited about, the Darius Hayward Bays of the world, but they do get excited about the Stephon Diggs.
Oh, come on. Torrey Smith was
Torrey
a
Smith.
beast.
Torrey Smith absolutely was a beast.
DJ Moore.
You
They become
stole the
wide
words out of my
receiver
mouth.
here
Exactly.
in the last probably about 10 years.
Rock Jarrett he'll be a sophomore this year. If you have the opportunity, you're watching Big Ten football and you're wondering what Maryland Terrapins have to offer you, because we've got a lot of guys here who are from out of state who don't care a ton about University of Maryland. They do have a wide receiver who will be playing on Sundays. His name is Rock Jarrett, and he is fun to watch.
And also I'm stuck on it right now, and I've been paying attention. You see this alliance with the Pac-10, Big 12,
I'm just going to ask you about that.
stuff like that. I mean,
do you like it?
It's coming.
I know, but do you like
This is
it?
all inevitable. I don't know if
This is different.
I don't know if it matters.
This is different.
It's not different. And here's my knee-jerk reaction. Pac-12 is leading this whole thing. They're so eager to do it because I think they have the most to lose in Super Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? I've heard rumors about Big 12 possibly trying to Big 10 trying to possibly poach a couple of Pac-10 teams to have that full country coverage of TV, right, for the Big 10 network. I think they're trying to get out ahead of this. This is all being led by Pac-12 right now because they want to make sure that they have a seat at the table. And it's interesting that the Big 10 and the ACC have joined up, but look what the SEC is doing. They're moving ahead, and they don't give a shit.
So it's like 3 versus 1 now.
Texas, Oklahoma, let's go.
Big 12 gone.
Big 12 is going to be pulled apart and chosen like on a playground football game.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them won't be picked to be left to just kind of, I guess, go to Conference USA. I don't know. Be on a Division
It'll make
1,
Conference USA better.
Division 1, Tier 2,
It's crazy.
whatever it's going to be. It's where it's going.
But it does
don't
lock
like
in the
it.
conferences.
I don't like it because I am an old school guy.
But this locks
There's some
them in.
traditions, but it's going to all change. This is all changing.
It'll change. Yeah,
different.
whatever we see right now.
Got to roll with the punches and see how it works out. And
we have a roll
they'll
tide.
figure it.
Oh, Robert Cohen's from Alabama. All right, that's okay. You're from Alabama, so you get to say it.
Yeah, Alabama's. They're the top dog.
Top dog.
They always will be as long as Saban's there.
I believe that's true.
Dabo may take over after that. I don't know. What do you
I
think?
don't buy the Spencer Rattler hype personally.
This is
in
not
Oklahoma.
this isn't homerism on Caleb Williams. I don't see it, man. I don't see it about Rattler. Everybody's saying he's like a number one pick next year.
I don't want him to be our
He
number one
looks
pick
like
next year.
he's 12. Okay, he
He's-
literally looks like
he
he's
is
6'2",
crazy
198.
athletic. He's crazy
He may be
athletic.
crazy athletic, but I mean, is he Kyler Murray athletic? I don't know.
Well, he's bigger than Kyler Murray.
You'll have to show it. He has not really showed me. He's been pulled before too.
I didn't realize they have turned into quite the NFL quarterback factory.
2 guys.
Who?
Well, you got Baker and you got
Baker, Kyler. You don't want to talk about who was it? Jason White. I'm talking about college quarterbacks. And they
White was in the
send them.
90s, dude.
They have like 6 statues of their quarterbacks outside the stadium, which Baker and Kyler are the latest of, I believe. I listen. I think that the alliance between the 3 conferences is good because I think it puts some feet in the sand in terms of slowing some stuff down.
Big Ten, ACC, we're going to have things figured out one way or the other. It's just they are going to figure it out because I think with their networks and the TV deals and all that stuff, they had too much. Pac-12, I think they're worried. I think they're worried because those things. I think Pac-12 could actually be split up a little bit and make things look a little bit better. Maybe even
so far away,
sort of a north-south feel or a west-east feel, maybe. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Whoa, AGH is throwing some Penn State action down.
Yeah, what's he talking about?
He's from Wales, but he said he went to Pennsylvania once, so he's dropping some PSU. Not PCU.
Stop
Not to be
talking about
confused with PCU.
Get on the
Great,
Terrapins there, AGH.
great Jeremy Piven movie. If
Got a
you
lot
haven't
of
seen it.
turtles over there in Wales.
And you know what? And AGH is watching Oklahoma because he is very familiar with Caleb Williams. So
That's true.
we'll get out on this one,
He
guys.
saw him in high school live.
Saw him in high school live, and that's what we're going to get out of. Everyone who's hanging out with us tonight, we appreciate you guys. We get high school sports this year. We didn't have it last year. We get it this year. We're going to be all broadcasting live high school football starting on September 4th. You might say, whatever, I got college, I got NFL. We have the best high school football conference in the entire country. First Amendment Sports has a contract with them. We put it out on a weekly basis. This is proven.
A lot of future stars of tomorrow.
A lot of future stars of tomorrow, and we had Caleb Williams on for a couple years. Definitely check us out. September 4th, we get it started. The championship, the postseason championship is early November. I believe the 13th and the 20th.
It's always the week before Thanksgiving.
Yep, that's correct.
The Sunday before.
We will have absolutely the best high school football that you could possibly watch, and it is fun and it is worth watching. So get absolutely.
And you get us.
Give
bonus
us that
on Saturday.
subscription.
Come on. I mean, watch your big games on the big series. Put us on the computer right next to you.
It's great to be in the basement, but at the same
I'd
time,
love to spend a Saturday with you as well.
we will be back next Tuesday night, live from the basement. We appreciate you guys giving us your time on Tuesday. Thank you so much. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
Can't wait. I know we got a little bit of time to wait, but I can't wait till it gets going, man.
We will see you then. Hopefully Kevin will be with us. We're still live.
See you guys. Rat. No, don't touch that rat. See? Look, what are you doing?